Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video. I recently upgraded my pedal board with an HX1. We're finally replaced the old M5 here, the old brick thing. It is massive, weighs a ton. Was also dissatisfied with some signal loss, just didn't sound great. And as I studied the HX1, I was like, okay, well, does the same thing but better, a lot more sounds, upgradable, things like that. Well, as time has gone on, I really have grown to love the sounds, but the functionality was still lacking. But I was noticing online that a lot of people were using a MIDI pedal to control the Tone X1, and I had found some workarounds for that to make it MIDI. And I thought, okay, what if I could make my 4-button M-Vave Chocolate pedal that I got for like $25 or $30 work with the Line 6 HX1. And I did, and it's amazing. So I'm gonna flip the camera and I'm gonna show you a little bit of how I have it set up. Okay, I'm here at the pedal board and I'm gonna zoom in on the HX1. But first I wanna show you the MIDI controller that I'm talking about is the M-Vave Chocolate. And it's not the plus version. It is just the basic version, and don't think I paid a whole lot for it. When I was watching the Tonex videos where people were hooking up with MIDI, I found that there were these little dongles, also by M-Vave. So there's a little switch on the bottom. I turn it on. Turn on the chocolate pedal. Now they're connected. Okay, right now I have this set up where my first button press automatically goes to one patch, and that is 0, 1, and in that case, that is Dimension Chorus. That is probably my most used patch on this pedal. Then I set up the second and third as a bank down and a bank forward or up. So I'm back to dimension, bank up to tremolo. That's probably second most used. Well, it was until I found bubble vibrato, and bubble vibrato is amazing. And then this I've got set up is the FLUX. So hit that, it activates the FLUX. Okay, and then if you long press, it turns on a wah that I use very rarely, but it's nice to have. Long press in the second position, it goes to a preset. So I've got it set for tremolo, which is like 02, and then 03, which is bubble vibrato. Then just for the heck of it, long press on the fourth button takes me to the bank so I can scroll through them more quickly. Now if I hit the bank menu here, it also will scroll through, so I can still do all of this with my feet, which is great. Another reason that this is amazing, I'm just going to go back to dimension so you can see my normal use. So I can flip that on, turn it on and off, but I can also switch this to tap tempo. So if I'm going up to a delay, let's find something. I don't know that there's Elephant Man. Okay, so then I can, tap in my delay, but I can still use FLUX simultaneously as leaving this permanently set to tap tempo, which is what I normally do. Okay, so one of the first things we need to do is make sure that the software is updated on the chocolate pedal. This really baffled me for a little bit. The issue I was having was that it was not saving my MIDI settings after I'd go through and program. I had it all worked out. It worked flawlessly. The minute you turn the pedal off, it would clear it and no longer remember your MIDI settings. So let's go to Bluetooth here and turning on the pedal. If I go to Bluetooth there, I've disconnected it so that I can reconnect and just kind of go through the process. So yes, we're pairing. Okay, now the blue light is steady on the pedal. If I go to the app, I can see it, but there is nothing here that shows how to run a software update. You can do the programming and that kind of thing, but there's nothing else there. So we're going to get out of this app and we're going to go into this one. Now I will leave a link for this app down in the description of the video here. Search device, let's see, there's foot control, upgrade. Okay, so then I just followed the prompts. I'm not going to do it again right now because I don't want to risk everything I've done being undone. But now I'm going to start screen sharing from my computer so you can see the actual process of how I have the MIDI settings set up. Okay, now I'm going to walk you through the process of setting up the MIDI. I've got you looking at my computer screen. I decided to use the Mac program for CubeSuite as opposed to using the app just for getting around a little more easily. Very important to note that you definitely have to use the USB-C cable to connect the chocolate pedal to your Mac in order for this to work. It will not do this via Bluetooth. Okay, so I'm going to open the program. And it is not an app on the Mac, by the way. It's a program, so you install it at your own risk. Select foot control. You want to come down here to advanced custom mode. Come over here to mode. You want it to definitely be step short or step long. That gives you the long press, short press for each of the buttons. This is how I've got it set up. Foot switch A is kind of my default go-to chorus setting. It brings up the chorus automatically. Foot switch B is going to scroll to through the presets upwards, and C is going to scroll through downwards. So that is my 0, 0. This is my 0, 1, etc. And then I saved the D button for flux. You can see that it's fluxing. And then long press is another preset. It's my wah. Long press on the B button is tremolo. Long press on C is the bubble vibrato, which is awesome. And then I went to the D long press and I made it, I decided I wanted it to go to the preset list just in case I want to be able to see what I'm, find some random other patch that I want to use. Okay, so let's go back to Dimension Chorus and back to the screen here. You're going to come down here to A bank because that is your short press. When you double click on that, everything needs to be in channel 1. You want to have it say PC for program change, and then I have it set for 1. So you can think of that as like your patch 0, 1. I didn't use 0, 0 as my first patch. I used 0, 1. Okay, and then I'm not going to do the B bank or the long press yet. I'm just going to go across through the letters. Okay, this is for the preset up and down. So this is for moving up. Channel 1 again. I'll have it under the CC type of MIDI. And then the data is set for 72, and then data 2 is set for 0. That allows it to go through and go up. And then foot switch C. What we've got here is channel 1, CC 72, but then 64. So it's like any value higher than, I think, 64 will allow you to go the other direction. And then to reach the flux, you are going to come over here to channel 1, CC, and then data 2. And then data 1 is 2, and data 2 is 0. Okay, then for our long press, we'll go over here to the B bank. Now this is just as simple as long as it says channel 1 and you have program change, then you just put in the number of the patch that you want to call up. So you could change this on the fly if you wanted to, or you can use the library, move stuff around into the positions that you have selected for your MIDI controller. But 122 was my wah setting. And then under B, 2 was the, I believe it was the tremolo, and that you can think of that as 0, 2. And then foot switch C, I have it set for 1 and 3, program change. And then for D, this one's kind of unique. It's channel 1, of course, CC, and then data 1 is 5, and then there's like 3 different things you can do. I think to access the tuner, you might put 0. The preset was 1, and there was one other option if you put 2 in this number. Okay, so basically that's a super quick overview of how you can set it up the way I have it set up. You could easily move these things around and set it up more specific to your own needs. Well, hopefully that makes some sense to y'all and gives you a little bit of some inspiration for how you could set it up for yourselves, and maybe answer some questions you may have about how it can work, how to set up MIDI. And it took me a while to figure proper settings out. It also was just crucial that I update the pedal, since it was not remembering the settings after I would turn it off. But right now it's pretty amazing, because every time it's like having separate pedals instead of having one pedal where you have to bank in and find your sound and then bank out and then turn it on. It's like one tap turns on chorus, one tap turns on vibrato. It's pretty great. So hopefully this can help you set it up the same way. All right, thanks for watching.